Hi everyone, my name is Gabriela from TulipArt Designs, and on this channel we are getting creative. We are doing the 100 watercolor sketches in 2025 creative challenge that I started for myself, and I wanted to share with you so you can join me on that journey. Today we are sketching the jellyfish. So this project, I definitely had a lot of fun. So let's dive in. Okay, before we start, I will tell you about the supplies. They are the same like in the other videos from the challenge, and we have a sketchbook. I have watercolor sketchbook with cold press paper. I really enjoy the texture. Then watercolor paints. Mine are my Mary Blue, but any watercolor will do the job. Maybe the cheapest ones will not, but student grade watercolors will be fine. Then I have two sizes of a round brush. I have size 10 and size 4. They have a very nice tip, so I can make either very tiny lines or thick, very nice brush strokes. Then I have the mono drawing pen. It's a 02 size, and it's water resistant, which means it's water based pigment ink fine liner, which means that when I add water on top of it, it will not bleed. And then I have a Jelly Roll pen, size 10, to add some highlights in the end of my illustration. So today we have the jellyfish, as you saw in the beginning, and I will do this in a few steps. So I will do the ink, the sketch, the pencil sketch. You don't see how I made it, but the outlines are on my Patreon, so in case you need it, you can definitely check it out. I will link it below. I will start with inking my illustration, and then I will paint the jellyfish, and I will after that make the whole background, and then adding a few details. I have an extra supply for today. It could be either white gouache or bleed proof white. Whatever you have at home, it will do a nice job. I think I will use the bleed proof white. Lately I'm enjoying it a lot. Okay, let's just start. I will zoom in for our drawing. I really like to use a very nice sketchy style, and I usually go very tiny, very soft. I am not pushing too much with my pen, and then I go back another time and I add thickness to my outline where I want it. So I can add thickness only on white on one side, so this will create a little bit of deepness into my illustration. If your paper is more rough, so it has more rough texture, then you will probably need to use size 03. Usually if I use my Arches watercolor paper, then I use 03. This you can definitely see in my classes on Patreon, where we sketch a new thing every week, a nice illustration. But feel free, if you have different sizes of a pen, to try out and see what is the most comfortable for you, because we are different. in the end, you know, we have different tastes, so it's possible that what's comfortable for me maybe for you is not the most comfortable. Okay, I think I will sketch, how do you call this? Are these like tails of the jellyfish? I am very bad, really apologize, so please comment below and teach me, give me a little bit of education, because apparently I am not very good in words, but I'm good in sketching, so this is what I can teach you. And if you know something that I don't, please comment below. I am always happy to learn something new, especially when this is my second language. Okay, then I go here and sketch these ones, so you could see that they have different distances. They also have different lengths, so some are shorter and some are longer. Just like this. Then I can go back and add thickness to some of them, which will make it a little bit three-dimensional. So the ones that are thicker are more in the front, and ones that are thinner are in the back. Okay, just like this. I need my eraser to erase the pencil sketch. If this doesn't bother you, then go directly with watercolor. The thing is that when you add watercolor on top of it, you will not be able to erase the pencil lines anymore. So that's why I really like to erase them now and make my page very clean and nice to add some color. If you are not in a mood of coloring today, then you can definitely skip it, come back, or just leave it as it is. It's already a nice drawing, so that's quite nice. I have my watercolors here, and I will start by adding water, clean water. I am not focusing too much on water control, but I just try to make it nice and wet. I make sure that it is, the whole thing is wet. Okay, and then because I am in kind of a red, yellow, orange theme, I will grab some more yellow and I will add it around the edges, here, just everywhere. I will tap a little bit inside, and I also want to grab a little bit of Rose Lake. Use the colors that you like the most, okay? If you have your favorite oranges, just bring them in. If you like red, then bring it in. What I try to do is I try to make it more pinkish and maybe even a red here on the top, and then it blends into the yellow here on the bottom. I am not mixing colors, I'm just enjoying how it works here on the page. That's it. Then we go to the next one. I add water. You can look from the side and see the light reflection, and to check how much water you have. Is it enough or is it too much? And then I drop in again some yellow around the edges, like this. Then we pick some of the pink. I go here and look how this pink just, it's Rose Lake, the paint I have here. Look how it bleeds. I am always so amazed of some of the colors, because pigments, they bleed differently, but this Rose Lake is just amazing. You can always go back and add some extra pigment if you want to make it darker, okay? Just like this. Watercolor tends to dry lighter, so it's okay if we just add extra. Now I have a little bit like a pool here, so I am just pushing it with the brush to the pink. All right, and let's just make the other one. So we are not trying to mix colors, we are not trying to make it perfect, we are not trying to control the water. The only thing we know and the only thing we can control is that we know that the paint will go where the paper is wet. And this is our starting point. So we have water here, and we know that this is the place where our paint will go. We start dropping in some paint, just like this. I really like starting with the edges, and then a little bit here in the center. I wash my brush before I get extra paint. And yeah, you can definitely mix your paint on the side with water, but I really like to take paint directly here from the pan. That's okay. So I have more concentrated paint on my brush, and I start dropping it only on one side. So this is the top, then a little bit of red for extra darkness, just like this. Okay. All right. What I want to do now is to let this dry, and then we work on the background plus the tails, if these are the tails. Okay, I need my heat gun, and I will make it dry. If you don't have the heat gun, don't worry, just wait for this to dry so it doesn't bleed in your background. If you're not patient enough, it's okay if it bleeds. It's not a mistake. It's probably not the, the effect that you are searching for. At least, definitely not for me right now. Okay, now that this is dry, I have a clip here that I can use. Let's just use it here to keep my page a little bit flat. Okay, and then I am using again my big brush, and I will start adding water. I'm adding water everywhere, okay? You can, if you really want a nice and straight edge, you can tape it with this type of washi tape. I just like to make it something similar to this one. This is actually this one. The it's actually the tutorial that apparently I didn't film. If you were following on Instagram, you probably know, but that's okay. I will film it again. So I am adding water everywhere around it. Here, if it's very warm in your place, or you know there is an AC in your room, probably you will have to go back and add extra water in the first part of your page. That's okay. We just go around at first and create our wet parts. I still look from the side to see if I have, you know, a missed spot somewhere. And if it's getting dry, then you will see that it's not shiny anymore. So you want to keep it shiny, which means that the light is reflecting in the water. Okay. If you don't see where you're putting water, you can definitely add just a little bit of paint so it's very light and transparent. Okay, something like this. My neighbors are doing some stuff outside, so I hope it's not disturbing you, and I hope you don't hear much. It's definitely disturbing me. They are probably cutting. It's either the neighbors or, you know, some service. They're cutting something on the street, trees or bushes, no idea, but it's definitely not very nice. Okay, I think now I have water everywhere. I need some blue. I have Prussian blue here, very nice and vibrant blue, and I will start adding it in like this. I first start with the edges. I try to be fast, and I am letting it bleed. Okay, and then I will add a little bit here on the top, just like this, and then here on this side, so you could see the nice and soft edges that are created just because our paper is wet. Here I will just add a little bit in between, and we really need to try to work fast. I want to make here the edges a little bit darker, so I go back and add more concentrated paint, just like this, very quickly. I see that my paper is starting to dry, so I want to get a little bit of yellow on my brush. I don't want to have dripping paint from my brush, so I will tap it here, and I will go in and make quickly these lines following the ink lines. Okay, and I am letting it bleed in the water a little bit here. Okay, the last thing, I will take my bleed proof white. I will take this brush, the size 4. I am mixing some water directly here in the jar. You can definitely take some paint out on the palette. Okay, And then I use this here to paint some white. When you are painting, you will probably pick up some of the watercolor that is already on the page. So I am adding a little bit, and then I clean my brush, and then I do it again. I try not to put in some of the blue paint, and I am working very quickly. So the bleed proof white will also bleed a little bit in the water here. So I try to make it very magical, if I can say this. It's like just, you know, brightening the water, and it's very light, and it's like just shiny. And how much, I don't know, we just try. The only thing is that I really try to keep my brush clean, so when I go back a second time I will not add blue. So I clean my brush here, and then I pick extra blue. Okay, something like this. Let me see, there, looks very nice on the screen. Maybe a little bit here. Okay, something like this. I have a feeling this is not very nice, so I will just change it. Okay, I think I really like it. So I will wash my brush very well, and I will leave it here. I will let this dry, and I want to add some last details. Okay, now that this is dry, I will add a little bit of white details. So what I usually like to do is add white highlights. Oh, so white highlights here around the edges. And then also here. So we already added some white here. Basically, these highlights we could do as well with the bleed proof white. So feel free, if you want to try, you can definitely do it. Just like this. I want to get these lines a little bit more contrast, and you can definitely draw on top of the watercolor. And to add a little bit of contrast, just what I'm doing. Okay, that's it. So that was it for today. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope that you painted along with me. If you need the outlines template, it's available on my Patreon, so I will link it below. consider subscribing to my channel so you will not miss any of the coming videos, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!